What's going on, guys? It's Brandon L. Draper with the Start Thinking Forward morning show. Hey guys, if you haven't heard about a free way to share your story or voice with a community of like-minded people, well, I got something for you. The no excuse way to start your podcast. Let me explain. First and foremost, it is free 99. They got all types of creation tools that allow you to record and edit your podcast right from your phone or computer. No special equipment needed, right? You can also make money from your podcast. There's not a minimum amount of people need to listen to it. It's everything plus more that you'll need to create your very own podcast in one place. So, what are you waiting on? Download your free Anchor app or go to anchor.fm to get started. What's going on, guys? It's Brandon L. Draper with the Start Thinking Forward morning podcast. Wake your butt up. Get up out of that fart sack and come listen to some motivation. Hey, guys, we had an explosive show yesterday. Very positive, uplifting, something definitely from my soul, my spirit. And I also just felt like, people really needed to hear that message. And today is no different. Today we're going to be talking about, how you're defined by your courage, but you're going to be redeemed by your loyalty, right? And those two kind of like, synonymous, because if you really think about it for a second, it is so difficult at times to maintain a certain level of courage, when in loyalty to something, when you look around the corner, you keep taking L's, you keep taking losses over and over and over and over and over. And you hear the rhetoric out there, the gurus, the personal development people that, to say, hey, keep going. Somehow it's going to work. And let me tell you something. I'm not going to take away from that and say that that's not true, but it doesn't take away the pain that goes through the process of that. See, I can know that it most likely is going to work out, but the pain that I'm going to endure until it works out still sucks, right? And I think a lot of people can agree with me that process sucks. So, you leave your job, you start your own business, right? You feel like it's going to work out. You believe in yourself. You're committed to it, right? You had the courage to step out. Now, how you're going to be redeemed is that loyalty, meaning how long can you stick with it when you don't get those positive results? Because at the end of the day, I always like tell people, you can have a lot of wishful thinking, but that's not that wishful thinking. It's not a wishful thinking credit card that can pay your light bill or pay your mortgage or your rent, your car note, and your car insurance, right? So there's things that you still got to do, but still at the same time maintain the dream because, and that's difficult. And that's the part I think, people don't talk about. There's so much noise of buy my next course, do this, do that. But when you really boil down to it, we're all the same. We're all just freaking human beings and we're having a human experience and we're just trying to figure it out as we go. So no one has the magic pill formula, solution, 10 steps, 20 steps. At the end of the day, we're all just trying to figure it out. Now, I will say that there are some of us out there that have found ways that can work for ourselves and can work for others. Like there's a system, right? They always say, success leaves secrets. And ultimately what that means is that there are systematic steps. If you follow, the likelihood of your success is going to increase because when it comes to business, comes to life, everything is based on probability and statistics, point blank, period. Right? It has nothing about the next book that you're reading, the next course that you're taking, seminar, masterclass, or whatever crap's being peddled out there. It's probability and statistics, right? Based upon where you're at, right? How much you're putting into yourself, how much you're investing in yourself is going to yield an output. That output is based upon what you put in, right? If you absolutely put nothing in, then nothing's going to come out. That's just the law of nature. Right? So having the courage to step out is very important, is very critical, but it's not the thing that's going to guarantee the win, right? Just having the courage to step out. So many people do it every day. They quit their job, they go out, I'm fired up. and you go out there. You had the courage to step out, but will you have the loyalty to hold it down? Will you have the loyalty to hold it down when you got to get an extension? Will you have the loyalty, the intestinal fortitude to keep on moving forward and thinking positive and taking the right action? Because guess what? Thinking positive and having the courage to do something won't get your light bill paid. It won't get your mortgage paid, right? That's when the repo man, that's when you're ducking and dodging the repo man. You can't get stuff fixed. All types of things are happening in your life as a result of you following some steps and not all these steps, right? Now, I'm not name dropping. I don't want to name drop, but there's people that everyone has a different situation. Everyone comes from a different life. I don't know if you're listening to this right now. You could be from a whole nother country, and I don't know you. So your circumstances in your life, that the things that you've been through, it basically make you who you are today, right? So if you look at my success and things that I've done, I've written books. I have a clothing line. I'm helping people write their books. I'm training and all these things. And you said, man, how did he do that? Or, well, maybe he had help or whatever the case may be. And I'm telling you, I didn't, right? We all come from different places, and sometimes we all come from similar places. But each and every one of our situations independently are different. So what may work for me may not necessarily work for you, and vice versa. But having the understanding to know that I can impose on you what I've been through and say, well, if you do this, you're guaranteed success. That's bullcrap. I couldn't do that, honestly, because that's not how it works. So everyone has a story, so I can't say my story is worse than the next person's story. It's not about the story. It's about whatever story, whatever monologue is being cooked up within you, is that number one, you had to have the courage to step out and say, I don't want what everyone else wants. I want something different. I'm willing to work for something different. That's the first thing. And then the second thing is having a loyalty to that, meaning that no matter what, you're going to continue to work towards it, no matter if it doesn't pay you. Now, don't get it misconstrued here. There's going to be some other things you're going to have to do in the midst of that to keep operation going. Now, let's have an honest conversation here. So the biggest thing too is I hate when I hear so-called gurus, personal development professionals, would-be professionals, constantly put out that idea of, just keep doing it and eventually it's going to work. I believe there's a part of that is true, but there are some things that are viable and there's some things that are not viable. You have to be able to position yourself in a way that for a fact that your business is viable. Because who would, I think anyone would hate to spend, 20 years working on something that's not viable anymore. Like you're trying to, promote, 8-track or 6, what is it? I think it was 8-track cassette tapes, right? Those things are not coming back. They're not coming back. But if you just cold-heartedly believe that it is, and you build a business based on that, the likelihood of your success is slim to none. So you have to make sure, number one, what you're going through or what you're willing to experience is viable on the outgo or the output of all the energy and effort that you're going to put into it. That's the biggest thing. So just starting a business and putting your head down and doing that for 20 years, listening to some people telling you to do that, and it's not viable, you just wasted a bunch of time. So not only do you have to figure out, one, what is it that makes you happy? That's one. Two, having the courage to be able to step out, because when other people look at you, it looks very different. Being an entrepreneur looks very different. So a lot of people don't understand you. They're not going to understand what you're doing, why you're doing it, right? And especially if you're not making money. Oh my goodness, right? If you're not making money, it's stupid to most people. Like, you need to get out of that expeditiously. But at the same time, if you know that you have something viable, but it's going to take time to build, then it's worth the energy and effort that you're going to put into it. But if it's a bunch of garbage, right, something you just threw together and you feel internally it is something great, right? Understand, you can go out and say you don't believe gravity exists. You go out on a building and step off the ledge, you're going to find out that even though you don't believe it, reality is another thing. So you have to make sure as an entrepreneur that you're in reality to know what I'm doing, is it viable or not? So a lot of people, and the second process, should I say, of that is for those that believe and know and have been shown countless times that they have a viable business, but they don't know how to position it. Because you can have a great business, you can have the courage to step out, you can be loyal to it, but you don't know how to position it. And I see so many people that have great businesses, but they don't know how to position it, and they're going to consistently and constantly be on the same, playing field, right? So I know people that have all types of businesses, and I've had talks, and just based on conversation, and I'm not prejudging, because not who am I to prejudge, but I've been just doing this long enough, and I've been in the trenches long enough, and I know what kind of works and what really does not work. So when people tell me something and I internalize it, I'm like, that's not going to work, right? So I try to set it in a nice way, like, that's not going to work. You're going to need to do X, Y, and Z. Now, it's up to them to take that on if they're going to do it or not. So you as an entrepreneur, you got to look at, okay, how do I position my business? If you don't know how to position your business through marketing and using technology to advance your business, if you're just on a traditional website, right, you haven't even got a brief understanding of marketing or advertising, should I say, more, because the marketing part really is the planning part, and then advertising is the execution part of that, right? So if you're not marketing, you're not advertising your business, and you don't really conceptualize or understand that, and you've been in business for over 5 years, you're planning to fail in business, because your competition, they're doing it, and they're doing it consistently. So you got to figure out, how can you consistently do that? And if you're not even looking at it right now, you're already behind the learning curve, and you're setting yourself up for success. That's not me being mean. That's me being real. Like, you're going to be out of business, guarantee it. And I hate to say it that way, but how can you survive if you don't have a viable way? You're not building a list of clientele. You're not actively marketing people for your products and services. How can you survive when there's countless competition out there spending hundreds, if not thousands of dollars per month, putting themselves in front of their ideal client, and you're just playing on the word of mouth, basic social media. And when I say social media, meaning like you got a couple of hundred or maybe even a couple of thousand people that follow you on Facebook and Instagram, and you put out a post. A post is not an ad, right? And that post organically is only going to go but so many people are going to see that, right? Because if you think about it for a second, how in the world would Facebook or Instagram make any money if everyone that you follow, they just automatically see? What will be the incentive for you to want to pay for an ad, right? So it's done by design. So if you don't know that, and you're posting and you wonder why you're getting 14, 15, 16 people responding to your stuff, that's garbage. That's not going to build your business, right? And the majority of my business does not come from Facebook and Instagram. Now, I will market on that like you should, right? Brand recognition, you're trying to build your brand, but understanding where your ideal client is at. And a lot of people don't do it. So they go with what everyone else is doing. So-and-so's on Instagram, or so-and-so's on Facebook. So freaking what? Where's your ideal client for your particular business? Are they on Facebook or Instagram? Or do you need to create a Google campaign? Do you need, And when I say do it, somebody like, oh my God, you lost me, man. I don't know anything about this. Well, if you don't know how to do it, it's okay. You don't have to be the smartest person at this stuff, but you got to be just be smart enough to know that, okay, I can go over here and hire someone that knows how to do it, have them implement it, and then I execute it, right? I put the dollars behind it because I understand that if I put $500 in something and my average course is $1,900, and if I'm on average making a 1% return on that, then I'm going to pretty much double my money, right? That's just how you got to look at it. And this is what the gurus and the people, they're not teaching that. They're not showing you that. They're not talking about it. So a lot of entrepreneurs or would-be entrepreneurs lose out because they don't understand the structure. You can start any business in this day and age with the power of internet and technology. You can start any business just like that, a snap of a finger. You can start it. But what's going to keep you in the business, what's going to sustain your business, is knowing how to properly position it and properly market it, right? So for 2020, start with the right foundation and getting the tools and resources that you need. Now, if you trying to figure that out, you need some coaching or whatever, this and that, click the link below in this podcast and you can request a phone call with me and let's talk about it, because it's about setting you up for success. Now, understand this, I can't talk to everyone. So, the first 5 people that are, that signs up for that, I'm willing to help. So I can't bog my schedule down because I don't really do a lot of the one-on-ones because it takes up a lot of time. So I do a lot of group classes. And the link is below on that too. Because it's very hard to individually, because, you're putting a lot of time and effort and energy. And it's the same thing I do on a group setting, but I feel like I'm able to serve more people that way. Because there's so much information when it comes to business, and it's not just about, you making money off of people. What it's about helping people, because when I first started in business, I really didn't have the help. And so I know there's a lot of people out there that really legitimately want help. They want to be successful, they just don't know how to do it. And if you give them the right tools and direction, they'll be able to accomplish that. And so there's so many people with the sound of my voice that's hearing this right now. You might say, man, that's me. That's me. I know for a fact, if I had the right guidance, I had a coach, or I had someone that was helping me to do this, it will make more sense. And I'm telling you, it does. You got to have a mentor. It could be me, it could be somebody else. It needs to be somebody, right? Albert Einstein said it before, and I'm paraphrasing here, but it's your own understanding of things, your mind that got you where you're at right now, right? And your mind may not necessarily be the tool needed to get you up out of that situation. You may need to lean on others to pour into you. You may be broken spiritually. You might be broken financially. You might be broken physically, and you need some help in order for you to orchestrate your mass exodus, right? And part of that, the first step to that, is having the courage to say, you know what? I need help. And then once you get that help, being loyal to what you believe in, who you are, and being loyal to your dreams, and say, I'm going to stick with it and I'm never going to give up, because I know I got something great here. And it may not be for everyone else. That's why so many other people out there will disagree with you, will not support you. It's not for them, it's for you. And if it's for you, you got to go and make it happen. Hey guys, this is Brendan L. Draper with the Start Thinking Forward Morning Podcast. I hope you enjoyed it this morning. If you want to follow us, please follow us at The Real Motivational King on all different platforms. Also, you can check us out online. If you want looking to publish a book, write, publish, and profit from your knowledge that you have, please go visit us online at www.pinnaclepointpublishing.com, or give us a call at 1-866-222-3940. Also, we have a closing line, Zenith Core. Hey, I believe that everything is always at the top, right? Everything has to be at the top. And so if you want to check out some apparel that we have to support our mission of empowering entrepreneurs and constantly moving and thinking forward, please visit us online at www.zenithcores.com. That's ZenithCores.com. Hey guys, I enjoyed it. I look forward to hearing from you, or I look forward for you listening in tomorrow for another powerful episode from the Start Thinking Forward podcast. Remember, you are defined by your courage, but you are redeemed by your loyalty. Be loyal to your dreams. Be loyal to yourself. Know that you can accomplish anything that you put your mind to. Go after it and make today your day. Signing off. Hey guys, until next time, I love you.